Hi, I'm James Leiman, fellow at the Vidine Center for Rural Economic Development at the University of Minnesota, Crookston. Today, I'd like to welcome you to installment 60 of our AgMark series. It's pretty exciting because we've done 60 videos updating you on all of the current trends in agriculture, the projections, as well as all the impacts the last several years have had on supply chains and everything leading up to our discussions over the last several months. Today, we're going to talk about the Ogallala Aquifer. This is probably one of the most important bodies of water in the United States, if not the world, that no one's ever heard of. The Ogallala Aquifer is one of the largest underground freshwater sources on the entire planet. It spans 8 states, both in the Midwest and the Great Plains, and it supplies roughly 30% of all of the irrigated land in the United States. Recent reports suggest significant challenges and concerns regarding the depletion levels of the aquifer. Studies show a consistent decline of the aquifer with an average drop of almost a foot acre, it was 0.71 feet in 2022, accelerating the threat of depletion. This has been relatively consistent for the last several decades because we've been in sort of a, maybe not a mega drought trend, but definitely a trend where the Western Great Plains have significantly seen reductions in terms of their levels of precipitation. Farmers and communities are reliant on the Ogallala Aquifer. They're facing a very critical situation, prompting many urgent actions to preserve this particular body of water. In fact, recently the state legislature of Kansas took it up as part of their recent state session to kind of discuss what they could do in the long run to ensure the long-term viability for the aquifer. It poses many severe risks to the agricultural economies of both the Midwest and the Great Plains regions, not just the areas where it irrigates, but then the water it competes with in and around that area. So the Western United States, as well as further north. Reduced water availability will definitely lead to limited irrigation options, and then obviously forced reliance on rain-fed agriculture. This is naturally a problem because in western parts of Oklahoma, Kansas, and Nebraska, it's been very difficult over the last several years. In fact, many crop yields and quality have been significantly subdued. The decline in the aquifer also threatens livestock. Livestock requires feed availability as well as water naturally to keep it moving. And unfortunately, these diminished water supplies could lead to severe shortages. Also, you'll see increased competition among farmers and ranchers, leading to agricultural output reductions, as well as economic hardships. In addition, over the next 4 decades, we anticipate roughly a 70% depletion given the current trajectory. And think about the food impact and the impact it would have on the food system if we were to realize that high number. Viability of farming in the region could be severely impacted, and the nation's food supply could be at risk over the next several decades. I'd like to thank you for joining me in the last 60 installments. We'll continue to put out great material and content to keep you educated and updated on what's happening, what's going to happen, and hopefully you can stay ahead of the curve. Thank you for joining me.